So y'all, I'm up early this morning. I was asleep all day yesterday. My seasonal depression is acting up because it done got cold in Miami and it kind of sent me into a downward depressed mode. And that's okay, mood or whatever. And I'm just up and I got some random relationship stuff that's on my mind because I had a few cocktails early this morning. I was listening to a lot of soul music and R&B music. And you know, my sister Monica just ran across my mind talking about she got her heart broke again. This white man don't embarrass Tamar talking about she fought for him. And Ashanti waited 2 decades for a Negro to spin the block and make her a baby mama. Lord have mercy, Jesus. We got to get on the line. Y'all want to talk about it? Here it goes. Nessa girl, now y'all go ahead and get good and comfortable. I always say when it comes to social media, you know, people get to curate their lives, and you may think that you know a person, but you only know what they give you. So I'm gonna give y'all a little insight into me. Like, I was asleep all day yesterday. I was kind of depressed for no particular reason or another, other than the fact that I go through this sometimes. And I did TGIF. Then I tried to go back to sleep, and I was hoping that when I woke up, it would have been about 5 or 6 in the morning. When I woke up, it was like 2:30. I ate, tried to go back to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep. The bar closed at 5, and so I went up to the bar about 4 o'clock. It's 7:30 now. I stayed up there till 5 o'clock till they closed. Sat up there, talked with Howie till about 7:15, and I just got home about 10 or 15 minutes ago. And I got ready to get in bed, and just relationship stuff been weighing real heavy on my mind. And so first and foremost, we gonna get cozy. And I want to talk about my sister Monica. Now, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of what came up. You know, Monica said one band, one sound. She said she ain't said C Murder name in over 2 years. And basically, for us to let it alone, that she got her heart broken again. Now, let me start out by saying this. You know, Monica, that is my sister. Can't nobody say nothing wrong about Monica. And I don't even know Monica like that. I know her in passing. We know each other when we see each other. We communicate on social media from time to time. But I ain't got her phone number. I ain't never rode in her car. I ain't never been around her house. I don't know her like I know Quad and Heavenly. I know, you know, of her. But that's my sister. But listen, I don't claim to have all the education in the world. And even though y'all advancing co-sign me, I don't plan to know all the psychology in the world. But I want to know how the hell a man that's been in prison for 2 decades broke your heart again. Now, part of me was thinking that when Monica said that, maybe she meant her heart was broke because she was resting on the idea that maybe he was going to get out of prison. And then when they just announced that he won't be getting out of prison, despite the fact that a previous witness recanted their testimony, maybe her heart was broken because she had put some stock into the fact that finally they could be together again. That's what I was thinking in the back of my mind, and that's what I hope it is. But when she said she got her heart broke again, I was like, girl, how? Like, sis, how? And you know, I was prepared to crack all types of jokes about how you got your heart broke on a collect call. Like, how you paid a nigga to break your heart. Because essentially, if somebody break your heart over a collect call, you paid to get your heart broken, baby. You could have got your heart broke for free. So I'm just confusion right now because I'm not understanding. Or, you know, was somebody messy and called her from the prison and said he was fucking a man in the ass in jail? Like, I'm just trying to understand the again part. Now, I understand getting it broke initially. I'm not understanding the again part. And so I'm hoping it was the idea of him being free, being snatched away from her, is what caused her heart to be broken. And not that all of this time, she was somewhere having her heart tied up for C murder. Now here's the thing. They say it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. And so my question is, Monica, if C murder has tied up this much of your heart space, can you confidently say that you gave Shannon and other people who you were in relationship your heart? These are just my random tipsy 7:30 in the morning thoughts, but it was just very concerning to me when Monica said she got her heart broke again, because we are sitting around here logistically trying to understand how that happened, because that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And then we got to move on to Tamar Ernestine Braxton. We got to move on to Tamar, but before we move on, I must say, gossiping and being messy feels so much better when you cuddled up next to you, cause you love me, baby. Y'all don't know about that Denise Williams. It just feels better gossiping when you huddled up. We covered this on TGIF. Tamar back with that white man that got them 6 kids. We gonna call his ass Department of Children and Families, because that's how many broken homes his ass done created. Okay? Just caseworkers and welfare everywhere. Just home visits and checks being dispersed all across the U.S. But that's neither here nor there. This ain't about his children. This about him and Tamar. Now, he was the one who announced that they broke up. He wrote us this letter. Tamar wrote a thing about being broken in, her car being broken into, not having a home, not feeling safe, and she doesn't not have a home for financial reasons. She doesn't have a home because she's chosen not to settle anywhere, because mama house got broken into in LA with her and her son, and she doesn't feel safe, which I 100% understand. I always said if somebody broke into my car or my house, I wouldn't even want the shit no more. But the man had came out, and you would think that he had studied at UCLA Berkeley under Nikki Giovanni, because he had wrote a whole haiku about him needing to heal and, exiting the relationship with Tamar. And the way it read to us as the consumer of the gossip and the tea that's none of our business in the first place, it read as if he broke up with Tamar. Okay? Neither here nor there. People get broke up with all the time. Last week, Tamar had put an order of lemon pepper wings, all flats, tossed and hot, down at the bar. And Next was playing in the background. I imagine Tamar must have had her 2 Long Island teas and a shot of Casamigos, because she decided to get us on the line while the DJ was playing, just being all disrespectful while the people is up there performing, spinning the hell out of the records. She said despite the fact that it was a whole concert going in the background, she needed to get us on the line now and talk to us. And she shared with us that she was the one who broke up with the white man. Again, it's neither here nor there, because whether he broke up with her or she broke up with him, the net effect is 0. When it all boils down, they're not together. But she wanted to be known that she was the one who broke up with him. Now, I said this on TGIF. It just felt a little awkward that Tamar was digging all into the minutia of the breakup, because quite frankly, it's none of our business. But what are you setting us up for here? And I'm not smart in everything. I don't claim to know everything. But I'm very good, and I've always been good since kindergarten. I'm very good at reading, writing, and reading comprehension. I'm very good at that. Those are just things that you'll never be able to take away from me. And I'm good with context clues, prefix and suffix, the main idea, the main character, the antagonist and the protagonist. I understand all that very well. And the main idea of Tamar's diatribe was for us to understand that she was the one who broke up with him. Okay, again, petty minutia, neither here nor there. But then I had to leave my book smarts alone and I had to dip into my bag of tricks, which is called my emotional intelligence. And I had to deduce from the main idea of the passage as to why that petty detail was important. Well, we fast forward to the present and we find out that the two of them have chosen to reconcile. Again, not our business, neither here nor there. It doesn't affect our lives one way or another. But then it began to make sense. It began to make sense because, and again, we're just bystanders. We don't know the truth from what's not true. But it appeared to us as if this man broke up with Tamar, then sprayed her. So it's important that she announced that she broke up with him because it makes it look like I took him back after I dumped him. Therefore, I'm not a sucker. I'm not begging. I don't have low self-esteem. I'm not begging for no man with 6 kids. It's not like that, sis. I left him. Therefore, it's not that big of a deal if I take him back. That was the main idea of the passage. Then we get to TGIF last night and we do the story about Jeremy and Tamar reconciling. And he made it a point in his passage to point out that he's back with her, and I'm paraphrasing here, basically after she proved herself by fighting for him. He put in the passage, she fought for me. I have a problem with that. While it's not my relationship, here is the problem that I have with it. You have two people in the media who are doing a relationship song and dance that's none of our business, but they are both having their egos fight one another to appear like the winner or the loser. And while I want no smoke with Tamar, and she and I have gotten to a good place over the years, sis, again, I'm not in your relationship. I don't know fact from fiction. But what it looks like from somebody who has no dog in the fight is that it looks like this man broke up with you. You still wanted him. After the world shitted on this man on social media, you decided to take him back. And to keep us from coming at you sideways and shitting on you on social media, you basically in coded language told us to stand down because you were the one who broke up with him. And he said, you know what, I'm going to get back with her, but I'm not going to be embarrassed in front of my friends and family. And I'm going to let the world know she fought for me. And honestly and truthfully, like when I read that she fought for me, I could not help but imagine images of her on the phone crying, on her knees begging for him to come back. It gave a groveling tease. And those were his intentions behind writing that. Like I said, I don't know what's false from what's true, but I ain't no dummy either. And I'm very good at hearing the things that people are not saying. I don't give a damn what's coming out your mouth. I'm more interested in what's not coming out your mouth. And when he put she fought for me, how else are we supposed to receive that, Tamar? I don't like this relationship for her. I don't like the word narcissist because y'all have just overused it. But it's giving me a Martell Holt tease. It's giving me, yeah, I'm the man. I got this celebrity bitch begging for me. That's what it's giving. And Tamar, whether you choose to listen to this or not, those were his intentions when he wrote that. He intended for the world to know, whether it's true or false, that you begged to be back with him. She fought for me. Especially when the lion's share of us are looking at him, his profile and everything he represents, and we're really not understanding what it was to fight for. I know that money and accolades and credit scores is not everything, but it's something. And when you start to look at the fact that he got 6 children and whatever else he got going on, baby girl, it looked like you fought for a bag of garbage that was tossed out the back of Service Merchandise, and they ain't even been in business since 97. And that's me being generous. They probably was closed in 93. I'm just not too lazy to look it up right now. But that's all I'm going to give Tamar. We're going to move on right now to Ashanti and Nelly. Now look, we all know the dating pool got pee in it. It got pee in it. It's some meningococcal meningitis in it. Sexy Red done put gonorrhea and chlamydia in it by way of lip gloss. It's a little bit of COVID-19 in it, the old strand and the new one. It's just a lot of stuff in the dating pool. And so I'm not mad with anybody circling the block, spinning the block, however y'all young kids say. You know, we got a lot of situations of aunts and uncles and mamas and daddies dated somebody way back when, 10, 20 years later, they come back. There's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes it's beautiful if it does work out. I'm going to give Latavia Robinson a little shine. What Latavia said on the one song Matthew allowed her to lead. She said, slow down. You're moving way too fast. You're only 16. I forgot the last part because I'm tipsy. But Ashanti, this pregnancy thing, it's not my job to police your uterus. But daughter, I don't know how I feel about this. Now, I'm not trying to age shame Ashanti at all. I'm 40. I would imagine she's a year or 2 or 3 older than me, which probably puts her anywhere between 40 and 43. And I recognize that time is not on her side when it comes to having children. You sat across damn near 2 decades to let a nigga make you a baby mama. And while y'all are familiar with each other and y'all probably didn't go through the traditional, bliss and euphoria of being in a honeymoon period that people go through because y'all already had previous relations. I just hope this works. I would hate to see months or two years down the line, Ashanti and Nelly break up Because then the hurt's gonna be compounded. It's gonna be like we broke up for whatever reason we broke up. We got back together. We had a love child together, and then we still didn't work out. Ashanti is just giving real slow down. You moving way too fast. But the baby is here, so all we could do at this point is go buy some stuff off her registry. Now, Ashanti, I'm here to let you know we ain't rich like that. Do not have no gender reveal and no baby shower or no sip and see because we not coming to all three. You better pick which one you want us to come to because low key we still kind of like got our baseball bats in the trunk waiting to hit Nelly ass upside the head if some shit go down. Like we still Ashanti, we like you, but we still, the verdict is still out on Nelly. And it would just seem to me, and I know what I'm about to say is going to sound a bit antiquated. I know that, there are different configurations of family, and it doesn't make a man or a woman or a child less than or illegitimate because they're not married. And some people can look at those views as archaic, and some people can even argue that marriage doesn't even offer you security when it comes to having children. But it's just the optics of it all. It's just the optics of it all. We're not going to pretend like there's not a certain stench that comes along with being somebody's baby mama. I don't think anybody said, little girl grows up and says, I want to be a baby mama. Nor am I suggesting that they should run to the courthouse tomorrow and get married. But you can't negate the fact that it looks a little suspect that she's pregnant. I was going to end the video here, but there's one more person I want to talk about. And the only reason why I'm going to talk about her is because I feel like she the reason that Lauryn Hill is fucked up to this day. It's Miss Watson. I ain't never liked Miss Watson since she came home early and had to do Miss Tibbs' finger waves and didn't allow Lauryn Hill to sing in the choir because she wanted to sing her shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And then, you tried to prevent it, Sheryl Lee Ralph, but the IRS still ended up getting Lauryn Hill ass. And no matter how hard you tried, she ended up singing her shoulda, coulda, wouldas on the corner. And singing obviously does not pay the bills or put food on the table like you said it was. But see, you spoke negativity over that girl. And you have to breathe life into your children. And if you would have allowed her to sing in the choir and truly dive into her passion, then the art of singing wouldn't have been associated with something negative, and she would have felt joy when it was time to go on the stage and not felt like it was a chore and drudgery and be late and then tell us we ought to be glad that she got on stage because you messed her up. But anyway, this is not about Lauryn Hill. Sheryl Lee Ralph is about to move in with her husband, who's a senator in Ohio. I forgot after how many years, 20-something years or something years or whatever the case may be. Sister, woman to woman, sister, I don't think you should do it, sis. I don't think you should do it. I don't want to speak no negativity over nobody's marriage. But sister, you finna move to Cleveland, Ohio, and move in with this man, wherever city he in. And girl, when you be going to the grocery store, them women's gonna be walking up and down the aisle, looking at you from up and down. They're gonna be laughing at you and gossiping about you, sis. Because if you think for 1 minute that man was in a whole nother state, in a whole nother part of the world, while you was over there gallivanting with Lauryn Hill and Loretta Devine, Denzel Washington, Oprah, Ava DuVernay, you resurrected Isabel Sanford and Cicely Tyson. If you think that man ain't have the comfort of some other woman company, you got another thing coming. Now here's the tea. They might have had an understanding it ain't none of our business. But, they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I would like to amend that and say if it ain't broke, don't break it. Y'all about to go through an adjustment period. And this is not just for Sheryl Lee Ralph. This is for anybody who marriage has been one way for so long, and then you introduce a new dynamic. uh I'll just share some of my own family business. My dad and stepmom growing up, they were always two shifts passing in the night. My stepmom worked the early morning shift from 6 to like 2:30. My dad went in from like 3:30 to 10 or 11. They always passed in the afternoons. And when they both retired and were both in the house together with each other, it took an adjustment because for the duration of their marriage, they were not used to being, together like that. And so, Sheryl Lee and that man are more seasoned than me. And they married. I'm sure they recognize that they're going to go through an adjustment. But sis, girl, I had called around and the people said that they just want you to stay in LA and let that man stay over there in Cleveland and leave it alone. And keep going to seeing that man in between congressional sessions and between, you filming and fucking up Lauryn Hill life. You done fucked up her life. Now you finna go over there and fuck up this man and his mistress life or whatever the case may be. See, you don't got on one little piece of Abbott Elementary. You think you don't arrived. You think you don't made it. And I just hope that it don't end in divorce. I don't know, y'all. This video is just random and all over the place. I was in here listening to relationship music, and like I said, my seasonal depression is getting the best of me right now. And it just made me reflect and want to speak on relationship stuff, so I figured this was the best way to get it out. Y'all drop that in the description to let me know what y'all think. Am I damn crazy, and do I need to mind my business? Or am I thinking the same things y'all thinking? And I'll call you later. Bye.